Your ability to manifest really comes down to your ability to change your perspective. Because when you move, you're actually going to a different place in your mental map. And then from where you are is what is going to manifest. How we know where we are in relation to everything else comes down to one critical question that we're going to get to in this video. Welcome, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to help you hack the jungles of consciousness so you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, it's all there, ready and waiting to be activated by you, through you, and for you so you can live your best life. That's what I want for you here on this channel. My name is Jess. I'm a manifestation coach and a neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner, which means I take a very practical approach to this stuff. I want you to get what you want, and I want to help you do that with very down-to-earth strategies and applications. So if that sounds good, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join us on the channel. If you want to work with me, information's in the description box below. I've been really thinking about this question all week and what it means in terms of navigation. I talk a lot about location on this channel. That's kind of my jam. I love the idea of mental mapping. Our brain thinks in terms of maps in our physical reality, also in our mental reality, and where are you is one of the most critical questions. Now, it's not the question I was referring to, but where are you? Where are you on your map? Manifestation often feels like effort when we don't realize this bigger truth that it's really about where are you? And you can be anywhere in your perspective. Your perspective can literally shift in an instant. A new piece of information, an aha moment, and you are suddenly in a new area of your mental map. New neurons are getting lit up. And because of that, your beingness has shifted because your perspective has shifted. Your beingness has shifted. Your actions shift. Everything shifts and manifestation occurs. Your outer reality then rearranges itself to show you where you are now. The landscape changes. That's what happens with manifesting. And that landscape is being generated through us, by us, for us. I want you to remember this question. Even more refined than where are you is, would you rather be right or free? Would you rather be right or free? This question is going to help you move, ironically. It's going to help you recognize that you're constantly moving around your mental map. You are constantly from one minute to another. One minute you feel angry, one minute you feel hopeful, one minute you feel like the person who has it, the next minute you feel like you don't. This constant volatility I have discussed before of like bing, 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 you're just like a little Plinko ball, just bouncing around. And then other times we are very, very entrenched in where we are. We're very entrenched in where we are, like what our name is. We're very entrenched in that. Or that the sky is blue, or any story that we really cling to. And we're like, this is the God's truth. I am not budging from this spot. And we can cling for years, sometimes even a lifetime. With our name, our first name never changes. We cling to it for a lifetime. It is our stake. We have claimed a stake in the map of names. And this is where my name is and who I am. And there's no changing that. So remember your ability to do this. This is a reminder. I just want to bring awareness to this. Would you rather be right or free? Righteousness, being right, is about fixed location. You are staking your claim no matter what comes, hell or high water. This is your truth. And you're, again, doing this all the time. You do this with your name. You do this with maybe your gender. You do this with your shoe size. You do this with things that are just a fact for you. They are a fact. There is no argument. I don't ever get into arguments about whether I'm an octopus or not. I know I'm a human being. That's a fact for me. I'm right on that. Our brains are heavily invested in being right. We pay attention to the things that prove our story. People call us by our name. We're like, yeah, that's my name. It reinforces itself. Those three capacities that we have, our attention, our story, and our habits, are reinforced through cognitive bias, our deep instinctual craving to be right. We can use this when we feel volatile. We can lean into needing to be right, turning things into fact, crystallizing them into fact, using that certainty, anchoring into certainty. When we're trying to manifest something and we experience this like volatility of like one day we're here, one day we're there. And I talked last week in the video about emotional mastery and developing the skill of not just getting carried away by every wave that hits us. That's actually practicing decreasing your volatility, is being right, being brave enough to stand in the factualness of something before you see it. We do this kind of on a fun scale a lot. We're like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. I knew you were going to come to the party, or I knew this was going to happen. So it doesn't have to be this very like forceful friction. It feels heavy and forceful. It's just a matter of returning and staying in place on your mental map about that subject of this is how it is. I'm right about this. I am more committed in this situation to being right. When we are called to manifest, we are called to live in the end. That's staking our claim in the end. That is a more of a fixed outlook, a fixedness, permanency, factualness, being right. Would you rather be right or free? That feels very certain. It feels very, this is how it is. It feels very, this is how it is in this reality. Living in the end. There is a permanence to it, and it doesn't shake because you've answered the question, would I rather be right or free? I would rather be right, because I know deep down I have this desire, this burning desire that maybe has been with me for years, and I would rather be right about it. I am investing myself, my mobility around my mental map into my rightness. I'm going to be right. One day I'm going to be right. And I called it first. I told you here first, folks. I told you here. I told you that one day I'm going to have 1 million subscribers. Yes. See, that's me stepping into, I would rather be right. What happens if we're locked up in something that isn't what we want, something that's not our end, but we can't quite get out of it? This is where we want to bring in, would you rather be right or free? Would you rather want to have more mobility around the situation? The cost of being right is that we give up control. We literally become brainwashed to that reality. We become fixed and permanent in that reality. Just like my name is Jess, it's always going to be Jess. It's never going to be anything else. Like that level of like brainwashing and control, it controls me. The name Jess is my name. I am under its control. I respond to it. I do not stray from it. And that is the level that creates that kind of permanency, creates very easily, echoes into all of your perceptions, into your manifestations. But it controls you. That's the payoff. There's always a payoff, the cost and benefit. Yes, there is evidence. Yes, in righteousness is evidence, and you're right about something. If you say that guy is a jerk, maybe there's somebody at work, they're being a jerk to you. They're making these little snide comments. When it comes to a situation that you don't want, that seems very pervasive, like this individual at work who's making snide comments to you, you have every reason to be right about him being a jerk. You have evidence that he makes the comments. Maybe you have him on camera doing that. You filed a complaint with your supervisor, and your habits in a situation like this are to fight back. You're a victim. You want to fight back against it. But being right in this situation, is it really serving you? This is where the question of would you rather be right or free helps you move. Is going to work and feeling miserable about it and avoiding this guy and having all this antagonism, is that what's best for you in terms of your goals, the experience you want to be having on a day-by-day basis? The answer could be no. And so this is where we might want to be free. We might want to be free. And this is where mobility comes into play, of lean more into mobility, where you were leaning into fixedness and getting your manifestation. You want to lean into fixedness of the situation, eliminating all the other outcomes, being completely loyal, permanency, standing in place. This is how it is. That's it. Yeah, that's how it is. With this situation with this person at work, it's something you don't like, something you don't want. Lean into the freedom, the mobility of how can I look at this situation differently? How can I change my perspective and choose to be different, a different place on my mental map, which frees up the energy of the situation, changes the dynamic, and then you manifest something different almost instantly. So with embracing freedom, we ask ourselves, is it true? That's a question that I often, when we're questioning our story, because we're really believing, okay, my story is he is a jerk. He's treating me badly. He's making me snide comments. Is it true this has anything to do with me? Is it true that I'm not a worthy person? He keeps making comments to me. I am a victim of this. Is it true? That injects that little bit of doubt that our brain is like, our brain perks back up and starts to try to recalculate the situation, reach a new conclusion because we have offered doubt. Is it true? So then we look at him and we're like, well, he treats everybody else this way too. Maybe that's just the way he is. Maybe it has nothing to do with me. I am totally worthy. I'm not a victim of the situation. I just need to smile and nod. And they're like, yeah, Bob, I know you're all gruff and abrasive. That's just how you are. And it has nothing to do with me. That conclusion, that instantly moves us. We are instantly in a new place with Bob, where we're like, Bob, that's your problem, Bob. That's all on you, Bob. I am whole, complete, awesome, amazing. I like to go to work. I like the projects I'm working on. I like my team. And Bob ceases to become a problem anymore. It's just like Bob is just being Bob. We just moved on our mental map through exercising our freedom to adopt a different perspective instantly. And then, you know what happens? Like Bob gets transferred, Bob gets fired, Bob disappears. Bob is still there, but we appreciate him for being an abusive, gruff, nasty person. And we actually kind of poke fun at him about it. And then he softens up. Like then the situation has room to breathe and shift. And you have unlocked the energy for it to move around. There you go. There's two instances. Would you rather be right or free? Would you rather be right or free? If you're too volatile, if you're too bouncing around and you can't lock in, would you rather be right or free? You want to be right. You want to entrench. You want to bring factualness. You want to bring permanency. You want to bring it down to the level of this is how it is. Whereas if you feel locked into something that you don't want freedom. Find your freedom. Find the change in perspective. How else can I see the situation? What else is going on here that I'm not perceiving? What else could be true? Could I take another perspective on this and really get behind it? Or could I just release that need to be right, that Bob is a jerk? And in releasing that need to be right, that Bob is a jerk, I release the judgment on him and I free up the energy to become anything again. I talked about this in the judgment video too. I'll link that one. That's a good one to follow up with this one. So learn to move, learn when to lean into permanency versus freedom. Would I rather be right about this and hold my guns, hold fast, no matter what artillery is hitting me? I'm going to die on this hill. Or do I want to be free? Do I want to free up the energy? Do I want it to move? Do I want to go back into my memories and change this memory and transform people? And in doing that, transform myself, my relationship with others, transform myself and change the energy, free it up to become something different, to manifest differently. This is how we do it, folks. You can do this. And if you need a tool to help you practice making your mind a more peaceful, pleasant, engaging place, that's in the description box below. It's available for you in every video for free. Check that out. And let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below and engage with me. I'm happy to engage with you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.